I'm going to ask our panelists to just go down and just see forward, help us see the future. 3-5 years from now, where is this going? What is possible? And let us go off on a high note here on what truly could be a great conference, a great evening, and a great future. Anant, where's it going?
So I kind of telegraphed my answer earlier. But just imagine, it's not in 3 to 5 years, but in 20 years or 50 years or 100 years, where any student from anywhere in the world can be, no matter where they are or where they want to be, can either working in a blended form with a teacher or by themselves with computation, and get a personalized learning experience that can give them a better life and make the world a better place.
I mean, we pretty much agree with Anant's vision, but I would also add in there that there's enough research that's done on what works and what doesn't, that George, that you become interested in not just studying online learners, but saying, hey, this does work in the following scenarios. And I think that you play a very important role here, because there is too much tendency, especially at conferences like this, to just say technology is going to improve everything, when in reality it improves these particular things X%, and these other things it doesn't work. And we really have to get better about that. And when everybody on the panel, the true success would be when everybody on the panel is comfortable sending their children or grandchildren to an online or blended experience because they know it's better from the research.
So I hope that in 5, 10, 20 years, we're at a position where online education, face-to-face education, technology-enhanced learning, whatever you want to call it, brings us to a place where we can learn from each other, embrace our diversity, and really learn from each other. And I think that with open network technologies, we're moving closer to that. And even though we're facing challenges right now, we're at a point where we can all have a conversation together around that. Not just entrepreneurs with people who provide funding, but also teachers and faculty members and policymakers and so on. If we're all at the table, I think we can create futures that allow us to achieve goals for a better world.
Stephanie?
I guess I sort of would agree with that. I'm not in the business of saying where I think it's going to be, because I have no idea. But I guess what I would say is where I hope it would be is that, to me, the promise of online learning and MOOCs and technology is that you can lift kids out of poverty. I mean, there's a lot of kids who were stuck and trapped, and it would be great if they could all take a class at Harvard on a MOOC. But I guess for me, what I hope is that in 5 to 10 years, we've figured out a way that this technology helps those kids and isn't just helping me take a class in the science of cooking at Harvard.
Yeah, I would say I think that I think there's going to be a coming together of all organizations where they're looking at devices, but then having those devices come loaded with content that's been vetted, that's quality content, that comes with professional development for teachers to use it effectively, and so that there's less of this fractured sort of environment out there, and we're seeing more things like that device coming fully loaded with that good content, with the professional development. So the teacher is really focused on teaching and not worrying about vetting the content and making sure they know how to use it, taking up their time. That's what I'd hope we'd see.
Great, thank you. I'll close with, our personal vision for CourseTalk is that at some point, 5 years from now, we have individualized offerings for every country. Because I actually think that there's specific content for every country and different needs that each specific country can have to help bring people from one level to the next. And we're excited to play a role in all that.